Hi, everybody. I just wanted to get on really quickly. It's Sunday afternoon, July 21st, and want to just explore a little bit about the week's energies coming up. And I just got this set up, so I wanted to use my new background and show it off. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're just showing up, go ahead and chat in if you want to be seen and acknowledged. I'd love to know who's here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I wanted to talk about the energies for the week and the human design sun gates in particular. And then I just unpacked my oracle cards too. So I wanted for the what comes up, or maybe even two cards. So this is totally experimental. Let me know if you like it. Let me know if it's helpful, and I might do it again over time. So hi, Judy, welcome. And let me know also if it would benefit you, if you like doing this, if it would benefit you to do it at a regular time. Like, you can just think about it if you're emotional and you want to ride through the wave of how you feel about this kind of a format, and let me know in the comments or send me a message or whatever. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun too. So, it was a spur of the moment thing, and maybe I'll schedule them in the future. I'm not even sure what's going to come out. So why don't we just breathe together for a second? Take some deep breaths. I have actually just finished up my previous week. I had some issues come up that delayed my ability to finish my actual online work. So my work weeks have been a little bit longer than I wanted it to. I like to usually take my weekends off. So this is like my break for the weekend before I go outside, now that it's hopefully a little cooler. So wherever you've been through the past week, go ahead and pull your energy back from wherever your attention has been. If you've been worried about something or thinking about something, or been caught up in a project or struggle or resistance, stay tuned for that video to come out next week. Go ahead and just pull your energy back from that with each breath that you take. And if there's anything inside of you that needs to be released so that you can make room for your big, beautiful, bright energy to park itself where it belongs, release with your exhales anything that's not yours. Release any tension, any attention, things you've been holding on to in your openness and in your sheer force of will. Let go of all of that. I've got my door open, so you might hear that train. And just allow your big, beautiful, bright energy to return to its rightful place in your body and your aura. And ground that energy. Send a grounding cord from the top of your head all the way down through your spine, through your tailbone, through your feet and your legs and your feet, into the ground, into the center of Mother Earth, bringing that earth energy back up to nourish you through your feet, your legs, your tailbone, your torso, your heart, your throat, your head, straight up creating a pathway all the way up to the outer edges of your human consciousness and breaking through to make way for divine energy and consciousness to move down and through you. And just let it flush through your auric field, through your body, all the way through and into the earth. So now you are connected and suspended in your rightful place between heaven and earth. So the energies for the looking at my trusty 2009 Pocket Ephemeris, the one for the human design gates. And if you're not familiar with the transits, I know I did a class a while back on transits, and I might either redo that class or edit it and put it back up again. But in a nutshell, what we're looking at with the transits are, especially with the sun transits, are the general theme of the gate where the sun is in the gate that is prevalent for the time that we're looking at it. And then you can look on your chart to see if you have that energy defined in your chart. Because if it's already defined, you're already experiencing an aspect of that theme. And if you don't have that theme defined in your chart, it means that you get to kind of experience it for the time that it's in the transit. So that's how that kind of works. And you will get to experience it in an amplified way. And if it actually happens to meet with one of your defined gates, you may get to experience the energy of the centers that whole channel in the transit chart, or in your, what do you call it, the connection with that, your defined gate and the defined gate in the transit makes that it will make a channel that will define or make it so that you feel that energy of those undefined centers that may not be defined in your chart. So it's something to look at to see how you are being affected by the conditioning forces in your life at that time. So for this week, the sun, we're still in the sun. The sun is still in the gate 56. And correct me if I'm wrong, Judy, we're now in the week of the 21st, right? I'm going to double check that just because sometimes I don't know which end is up in terms of time. Time can be kind of slippery for me. Yes, we are on July 21st. So I was right. And the gate that the sun is in during this time is the gate, thank you, Judy, is the gate 56. And it will be, the sun will be in the gate 56 through Wednesday, the 24th. So what is the gate 56? The gate 56 is, in shorthand, the gate of the storyteller. And let me show you Meghan Markle's chart for some reason, or the estimated chart. I'm not sure if I have her time right, but she actually has all the gates we're talking about today. So the sun, and this is in black and white. If you can see that 56 right there, this is where the gate 56 is on the human design body graph. And the 56 is, in short, the gate of the storyteller. And she happens to have the 1156. So if you have the 11 and not the 56, you're going to feel like your thought processes through your ajna are going to be, maybe you have the energy to express those thought processes in the form of story. So what we've been working with this gate 56 is going back and examining the stories of the past and perhaps expressing them. Oh, yours is in your design Mars. That's a very powerful place for it in terms of what propels you and matures, or how the energy matures through your life. So that's awesome. So with the 56, so it came in on the 19th. And we've had this opportunity, and we're still having this opportunity to go back and look at our stories from the past and perhaps talk about them and express them. And I know this has been going on in my life, and those of you who are here, if you want to, tomorrow or within the next few days, you can look back and leave a comment about how you might have been experiencing this. So what's been going on in my life with this Gate 56 is that I have actually been going back. I've been working a lot on my money and abundance and prosperity stories, and with an accountability partner. And Friday, when we got together to work through this program that we're working through, I started talking about some of the stories, my family stories around money and poverty consciousness and debt and those types of things. And that led her to begin to share her stories from her family. And I hadn't really looked at the transits, but that's how it has shown up in my life. And I'd be curious to see how it's been showing up in your life, and what kinds of stories have you been looking at from your past and expressing into your life, or expressing with other people. So we have this opportunity right now to kind of do that extra support from the cosmos to do that. And then as we, gather these stories and all of that, coming up on Tuesday, the sun will move into the Gate 31, which is about influential leadership. And Meghan Markle, again, has this in her chart. And you can see where it is right here. The chart, it's actually in this same, no, it's not. I take that back. It's actually in the sensing circuitry. So no, it's in the logical circuitry. I'm dyslexic today, I guess. Looking at the chart backwards and trying to point to it. And so here's the 1156, which is about sensing. It's in the sensing circuitry, which is about looking at the past. And then we have this opportunity to bring these stories that we've made sense of from the past into this energy that's still on the throat here, this support for bringing it out in an influential way. In an influential way that allows us to perhaps be recognized as a leader, always in alignment with your strategy and authority. So it's not like you go out there, you may feel this energy where you want to express something, your influence, or impart your influence on people, so that you're recognized as a leader, so that you can lead them into the future, which is, that part of the logical type of circuitry. But you always have to keep in mind that you must be recognized, because it's part also of the projected circuitry. You must be recognized before and invited into speaking, and especially if you're a projector as well. So, but there is this support to have this, to see at least how people are expressing their influence in the world, and whether or not that's in alignment with who they are. And a good place to look at this is in the news. You may be seeing a lot of this posturing of people trying to influence us as to the best way to move into the future. So keep an eye on that come next Tuesday and into the following week. Keep an eye on, where are you seeing this energy of influence being expressed, and how are you being called or inspired to express your insights into of what can be best to lead people into the future? Or how are you being recognized as an influencer or as a leader? So those are the two sun energies that we're working with in the coming week. And what else can I say about that? And I'm wondering if you maybe have something to add to that. So, stories of the past, we're in that now. We're in it for a few days. So, look at the stories that have come up for you that you've been telling, or maybe that you've been hearing from others from their past. And then as we move into Tuesday, take a look at and begin to observe where people are expressing their influence or trying to be influential by talking about what could lead us in, sharing what could lead us into the future, and see where you may have that pressure to do the same. And then observe whether or not that's really in alignment with your strategy at this point, and whether or not you're meeting with resistance if you're trying to do that. So those are some pointers from the human design transits about what we can be looking for in the week. We're moving from understanding the past and into influence over the future. So let's do, I'm really excited to do these cards. These cards they're actually out of print. They're from Sonia Choquette. She's an intuitive, really, really upbeat, sweet energy, but is also, been through some stuff in her life. This is one of her card decks that is no longer in print. And I call them the kick you in the butt cards, or, depending on whether or not I'm on YouTube, it could be another word. So they are very, very, very direct and directional. And I love consulting these cards. And really what we're tapping into here is we're tapping into our higher consciousness, the collective consciousness of what would be best for us as a group. That's what the intention I've set here is. What do we need to know in the coming week that will help to guide our days and our focus, so that we can live in alignment with our highest good. So let's focus on that. And if you're looking at this in the future and you want to focus upon that as well, go ahead and do that. And of course, always, this is a general kind of a thing. So, take it if it resonates with you, and if it doesn't, do something else. Draw your own cards. All right, I keep seeing cards pop out. I'm waiting for just one to pop out. Sorry for all the shuffling. I just want one. Ah, there's one. What do we have? Oh, look at this. This one is called Correct Your Mistakes. I told you these were kick you in the butt cards, right? They don't mess around here. Let's just read it and talk about it for a minute. Correct your mistakes. All right, so what this card is guiding us toward, or what this message is guiding us toward in this coming week is to look at this. Have you reacted poorly to a situation in the past and now regret behavior? Have you said or done something that has now come back to haunt you? Have you rendered a disservice to another intentionally or otherwise that's keeping you from moving forward? Are you visiting the same old argument for the 100th time with no resolution? Are you wondering, how can I remedy this? The first thing you must do is set aside your pride and defenses and acknowledge your mistakes, but don't make the punishment worse than the crime by languishing in remorse or paralyzing yourself with righteous self-defense. So these are soul purpose, soul lesson, and soul purpose cards. So your soul purpose right now is to be open to everyone by practicing the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And your soul lesson, quickly admit your errors and seek to correct them to the best of your ability without causing further harm to others. Ask your higher self to support with this process as you apologize ask forgiveness, and make amends. Take action to reverse any damage you've done and mean what you say. Then learn from your experience and let it go, because your karma will be complete. So this is a really powerful one, and I am going to draw another card. This card I failed to mention was drawn with the intention of the gate of illuminating the gate 56, and I really feel like it does. Um, so I'm going to add to this in the context of correcting your mistakes. That if you are looking back at things in your life that need to be forgiven or that you need to correct, this energy of the 56 is here to support you in that. And if you are feeling emotionally defensive or defensive in some kind of way, or self-righteous in some kind of way, or whatever, however she said that here, then this is an opportunity for you to go and to really look back and examine the stories that you're telling yourself about this situation. And ask yourself whether or not they're really accurate and whether they're really true and what that's really about for you. This is an opportunity to write a new story about a situation where maybe you felt wronged, or you felt that you wronged someone else. And if you wronged someone else, it's an opportunity to make a correction in that way, so that you can create a new story that moves you into the future in a better way. So that's the 56. Let's draw a card for what we need to know, or what can illuminate the theme of the gate 31 for this week. And let's see. I'm going to just take the first one that fell out here, which is laugh at your demons. So laugh at your demons, gate 49. Very interesting imagery there. Laugh at your demons. In what area of your life are you feeling miserable and unable to find your way out? Where have you been judging yourself or another so harshly that you see no means of forgiveness? What are you hiding from or covering up, afraid that you'll be found out? In what area of your life have you lost all sense of humor? Your soul's purpose right now is to restrain your critical ego and return to the love of your higher self. Be aware of every aspect of your life in which you feel stuck, and recognize this is only appearance. Recognize this as only appearance. All things will be solved in time. Your soul's lesson. Break free of the psychic bondage that arises from your overly judgmental ego. Feel the low quality of vibration that such doom and gloom and harshness brings out. Ease up on yourself. Nothing is that bad. Deconstruct the energetic barbed wire fence around your heart and turn off the psychic go away sign that you flash at the world. As intense as your present situation may seem, and as bad as you feel, know that your higher self will guide you if you let it. Seek your spirit's clear perspective by activating your humor, blessing your mess, and trusting that it will all straighten out. As you laugh, be certain that it will. So laugh at your demons. Influential leadership in the gate 31. So, in order to move forward into the future, into being an influence in people's lives, or being that recognized influence, you have to, sorry, my cat, you have to share an example. And what better example to share, especially, this kind of alludes to perhaps the possibility that the energies are going to be kind of heavy toward the end of the week. That opportunity to lighten up and to laugh at your mistakes, to laugh at things that haven't worked out for you, is really is really something worth sharing. And the Gate 31 is in that collective circuitry that's all about sharing. So you can just be that influential voice by laughing at yourself, by taking your struggles and the resistance in your life more lightly. And let's see what else we can talk about here. And if you have anything else to add to this, be sure to leave it. Leave it in the comments, or leave it right here. You know, if things really start to feel bad, remember that you are the leader of your life and that your energy has more power and influence on others than you can possibly imagine. I mean, we live in these so-called theoretically, I don't see auras, so I don't know, these auras that are 12 feet all the way around us in diameter. So we're constantly bumping up against people with our energy, and the level of our vibration has significant influence on other people. So the more that you can lighten up on yourself, the more that you can have that positive influence on others, the more that your aura shares with others that positive, higher vibrating influence that can serve to lift another person. And there's no more powerful of an influence than that. So I invite you, if you get to the Tuesday and things start to get kind of heavy, and you're dealing with your demons, or your life is kind of feeling harsh, to come back and review this, and to remember that you can have that positive influence. You have that opportunity to laugh at yourself, and to laugh at not at yourself, but at your demons, and to not take yourself seriously, or so seriously that your frequency falls and your vibration falls, because you've lost all your power and influence when that happens. Another thing that you may want to reflect upon or be aware of, moving into that Gate 31 energy of influence, is to be aware of how you may be getting influenced, and how that may be extra harsh for you. And take that as an opportunity to practice some mastery around being aware of how you're being influenced harshly, and to laugh at those external demons as well. So I am going to leave it at that, I think. Let me know how this works for you. Let me know if this is something that you would like me to continue. I love working with the cards. I'm so glad I finally got these cards out of storage. Oh my gosh. I have other cards too, if you're interested. Let's see. Right now I've got I have old decks here. I don't do tarot because I'm not trained in tarot. I have a friend who is studying some major deep stuff about the original teachings of the tarot that she keeps trying to explain to me, and it goes like that. She's bringing her book over so I can read certain aspects of it. She's going to the core and the root of it. It's just not something that I mean, this is enough right here, right? For me, for the rest of my life to study. So this other deck is called The Wisdom of Avalon Oracle Cards from Colette Baron Reed. And I think I've mentioned her before. If you want to just play around with the symbolism of cards and the messages that you can get from them, and you don't have cards, you can go on her website. She no longer has this one up as a free online draw, but there are others, and this is actually one of the original ones, because all of her equivalent to major arcana cards look like this, with the trees in the forest. And she's since redone them. But anyway, I love the imagery. We might work with these at some point if this is something that you love or that you find beneficial. I've done this actually. I haven't done this in a long time with some of the clients that I've coached. Back when I was doing more energy coaching, my clients would actually ask me for a card at the end, especially these soul purpose, soul lesson cards. And I might start to integrate this into someone else's or into some of my other work that I'm beginning to integrate or beginning to start with soul, or actually I'm bringing it back in. I'll talk about that in another video with your understanding your soul identity and your soul gifts, which are separate, not separate, but which are the eternal aspect of you. And I'm not going to talk about that here because I want that to be a separate video in itself about your soul blueprint and your human blueprint. I put a thing on our community channel about that, and several of you expressed interest in learning about the soul blueprint and what that's about. And that's something, when I started my path into working with clients in this way, I did healing through the soul blueprint, and my intuitive training is through that framework. So I've been guided to kind of bring that back slowly and I'm doing it very slowly because I have a way of really going deep and complicating things. And I want this incarnation of the work, when I bring it back, to be light, to be easy, but to also affect you at a very deep level. So that'll be a whole other video when I talk about that. But I really want to thank you guys for coming on, for watching. If you're watching in the future, let me know if you like this format, and if you would like me to actually schedule it on a regular basis, or if you just like me to pop on when I feel inspired. I know some of you like the unpredictability of me showing up whenever, but if you would benefit from a regular time of doing this, then I definitely will make the effort to do that. So until the next time, be well, and thank you so much for participating.